Hey, welcome back to Management 625. This week we're talking about encouraging the hearts. Uh, the basic element of leadership is that we are leading human beings on a team. Uh, at the end of the day, you can't lead a computer, you can't lead a warehouse full of robotic arms, you can only lead people. And in order to lead them, you have to reach them on a deeper level than just that surface of this is what we do, this is how we do it, and let's just get through the day. You have to reach them on a level that is personal, that is tangible, and that encourages them. Because again, if leadership is an affair not only of the head but of the heart, then while we nurture the head, we have to encourage the heart. So with that being said, let's talk about what it means to encourage the heart and kind of experience that would go along with that. I want to take you back to my time on active duty. I was tossing up between two different ideas, but let's go back to my time on active duty. And this is when someone encouraged me. I spent 4 years on active duty in the Navy, and about the first year that was done was when I started noticing emails would come through asking for volunteers to do something called individual augmentation. It meant that you would be the one solo Navy person who deployed with an Army unit or a Marine Corps unit to somewhere in the Middle East, be it Iraq or Afghanistan, wherever one of the two conflicts that we were engaged in at the time was occurring. And I saw those for the next 2 years and just, no, I'm not going to Iraq. Why would I volunteer to go to the desert? I'm not doing it. Not going. Nope, not happening. Until one day, an email came across and I fit the profile for it to the T. And I went to my chief and I said, I think I want to do this. And he, really? Are you you want to do this? You're sure? And I said, I think so. He said, do me a favor. I want you to think about it. And I want you to talk to your family about it. And talk to some of your friends about it. And then give me your answer at the end of the week. Fair enough. I can do that. And so I talked to different people, and I'll never forget, I called my mom and I said, what do you think about me going to Iraq? And she said, if you feel like it's what the Lord wants you to do, then you should go. I think in hindsight, she wishes she hadn't said that, because I don't think she actually thought I would do it. But I remember sitting down with a pastor friend of mine, and I said, what is it? At the end of the day, how do I know whether I should go or not? And he said, it's really going to be a matter of, what do you feel like you need to do? What do you feel like you're being called to do? I said, well, thanks. That's helpful, because I agreed to volunteer for it. Les has already had great advice for every other time, but not this time. So I'd kind of come up against that wall where I knew what my family was saying, but they didn't actually think I'd go. I knew what friends were saying, which is basically follow your heart, do what you feel like you should do. So I went back to my chief and I said, I need to know whether or not this is something I should really do. And this is when he encouraged me. He said, are you going to come back as a better person than you left as? And I had to think for a minute. I said, I would hope so. And he said, okay, as a chief who's been on a lot of deployments, I can tell you this. You will come back as a better person than you left as. Because you will come back with a unique appreciation for a lot of things. And you will come back and you will be recognized and you will be honored for the things that you did while you were there. And you will always be able to say that you were a veteran of a war. I thought, wow, I guess that would actually mean something. So he hit on that appreciation for my ability to be something better. my ability for excellence. He touched on that in a way that is hard to imagine anybody else could have done as effectively. Um, and I think he did a good job of it. Now, when have I encouraged someone's heart? Um, I'm going to go back to a little town in Jessup, Georgia, uh, South Georgia, middle of nowhere, one stoplight town, absolutely fantastic people. I was working a youth internship for the summer at First Baptist Jessup, and we had gone to a camp for a week. And at the end of the week, we got back, and one of the guys came up to me and he said, "Listen, Joe, before the camp, we all thought you were just kind of the fun intern guy. And we all knew you were, you knew stuff and you were smart, just kind of, I'm trying to do my best teenager impression. You knew stuff and you were smart and this, that, and the other. But we didn't realize exactly how much you cared about us until this week." And I said, "Well, what makes you say that?" And he said, "Well, you brought all of us here and you did it alone. You only had one other adult because the other two had to go to the children's camp with them because the two adults that were going got sick. You could have just canceled our trip and said, 'I can't do it,' or you could have said, 'I can't do it,' and need somebody else to go. But you didn't. You really care about us. You care about who we are and what we do." And I looked at him and I said, "Yeah, I do." And I did. Um, and those were some of the best kids that you could ever hope to meet. But he hit the nail on the head, and he really touched me when he said that, because it made me realize that what I was doing went beyond just what I thought it was. It went to another level. They were learning something. They were seeing something. I was encouraging something in them that I couldn't have done by just having been there for the summer. It took that act of going with them to summer camp by myself with only one other adult and saying, "Listen, we're going to do this and we're going to have a great time, and I'm going to make sure that you guys know that you're cared about and you know that you're loved." And it worked. And I don't know that it was my conscious and cognizant intent going, but after getting back, I realized that that's what had happened. So I would say realize that when we are working with people, it doesn't matter if they're adults or if they're kids, if it's corporate or if it's personal, it doesn't matter. Leadership will exist both corporately and privately, in public and in homes. It'll exist everywhere. But no matter what, we've got to get to someone's heart. And we've got to do it by showing them that we are invested in them, by letting them know that we see the potential in them to be something better than they already are. That's how we're going to get them. That's how we're going to grow them. That's how we're going to encourage them to the next level. Remember, again, leadership is not just an affair of the head, but an affair of the heart. Go, be servant leaders, and be good.